Hello, welcome to the Trews Comments Edition. I'm Russell Brand. Subscribe to the Trews here. Let's address some of your comments. Michael Disciple. It's interesting to note that while poverty may be a factor in the crime rate of inner cities, we must remember the term crime is not synonymous with being poor. Serious crime is being committed in every level of government and corporate authority, but the culprits are rarely prosecuted or exposed. It's a very interesting point. Meanwhile, the spin doctors spew propaganda about the dreaded crime that is plaguing our nation, supposedly coming from the lower class. Seems like the most prevalent malfeasance, which is perpetuating poverty and inequality, is coming from the powers that be. Michael Disciple, I think you're spot on, mate. We were talking the other day about Eugene Jarecki's documentary, The House I Live In, where he talks about how poverty is criminalised through drug laws, and that really, that the sort of government don't really, it's not like coming from a health perspective. What? People are taking drugs? They'll hurt themselves. For God's sake, make a law. There's more like, they're more interested in social control and social engineering and looking for novel ways of imprisoning poor people that are of no use now that the manufacturing industries have been outsourced to foreign countries. You're right. So what's that famous quote? What's the crime of robbing a bank compared to the crime of a new bank opening? The way that sort of rules and regulations and legislations is set up is so that their skullduggery in the city, not far away from where I am, is just business, just standard, and crime at a lower level is punishable. But in a way, that's what the Godfather films are all about. That America is built on crime and criminality. That the line between mafia and gangster behaviour and just the corporate world is wafer thin, and basically just they're less glamorous and less cool. Spock 5. Hi Russell, I think I have the cure to solve corrupt politics. We've been waiting for this. Thank you very much at last. Every MP needs to be elected with a majority of 50%. Fair enough so far. However, on the ballot paper there is a none of the above option. If there are enough of these none of the above votes, then all the candidates have to go back, look at their policies and try again in 6 months. Right, go back, try again in 6 months. The key to this is they don't get paid during the 6 months. I think once you start holding MPs to ransom rather than the other way around, the country will start progressing forward very rapidly. Well, it's a novel idea and I think we need innovations of all types. But I think what we have to do is look at more participatory democracy, where we don't just have sort of like a bank of politicians making decisions for us over here, partitioned off, and we go, oh God, I'll see you in 4 years, good luck with your expense account. No, we are directly involved in communities. We're divided up into identifiable, discernible and tangible groups, and we're like, right, what are we going to do with our budget? What are we going to do? How do you want us to sort out this park? Oh bloody hell, the bins are late. You know, it's really difficult being involved in any kind of democratic process. I'm involved in some, and let me tell you, it's hard work. But what we need to do, I think, is absolutely devolve power. The more you concentrate power, the more there is corruption. Dissolve power, spread it around. That structure, get rid of it. Need horizontal governance. That'll be the solution. So you haven't solved the problem. Come back to us in 6 months, and you're not going to get paid in the meantime. Paul BOT. You support libertarianism, taking down government and anti-establishment, yet you're all about collectivism. That's a hell of an oxymoron if ever I did hear one. Do you even know what egalitarianism is? Lol. Yeah, it's like people are equal. I'm not into that American libertarianism where you get to have a gun and be a selfish cunt. I'm not into that. That's terrible. No, collectivism. I think that you should be allowed to, be an individual. Who's going to stop you? Do what you want, where you want, go where you want, all of that kind of stuff. But I think that power should be devolved, as I just said to the last person. And profit medicine is the reason why modern medicine advances. Yeah, that's got to change, hasn't it? Like, if everyone's just motivated by, I might be able to get a conservatory. That's no way to run a world, is it? That's not a good way of governing things. It's not a good frequency for consciousness, is it? So you're right, medicine does advance because of profit, but this is something that needs to be addressed. Ridding profit is like ridding the incentive to improve and expand research. But no, hold on, mate. When you're mum's ill or something, don't you sort of think, oh God, I want that to change, right? So that's your personal motivation. But systemically, our feelings are directed towards individualistic and materialistic impulses. I think that there's enough energy in altruism and compassion to build a society on it. I think it's more natural. I think that what we have now is a perversion and a deviation. No one should be making money for food. Please elaborate on that. Everyone should have enough food. Don't have people making loads of money out of, Sainsbury's, Tesco's, all of that stuff. Cap profits, collectivise it. Should we just force people to grow, harvest and serve food for people? Force them? Isn't that slavery? That's what I'm suggesting. How do you ever plan or create a system where food is free without using force or coercion via government? It's either you're just saying things that people want to hear, or you don't know how or what you're even talking about. This is my feeling. As we look at the amount of people, we look at the amount of resources, and then we build systems on that basis. Right, the people have got to get the resources, and we can't destroy the planet. So distribute resources to the detriment of no one without damaging the planet. What we have at the moment is systems which funnel all the resources to an elite group, and it doesn't matter any other consequence. Doesn't matter that it destroys the planet. Doesn't matter that loads of people are starving. So that system that's a broken idea. Get rid of that system, and natural order can resume. So I know it's hard to imagine things being that different, but the situation that we're in now is a sort of a peculiar contrivance, an odd confection. The Synergy 1987 plus Russell Brand. What about some promotion for free and open source software? In this day and age we use computers, phones, etc. every day. Open source and free software puts us back in control of our technology in everyday lives, taking away the dictation control of the big corporations like Microsoft and Apple, etc. And should our governments, schools, etc. be built around this rather than sticking again with evil corporations and big money? Just one more thing we can all do. Alright, yeah. EOB1 says, I used to hate this guy with every fibre of my being. What, even your penis fibre? But after bringing on all these Trews videos, I did a complete flip-flop. I love this fuck now. You experience extreme emotions. But I appreciate that you have transitioned, and I hope you don't change back to the former one. Now is the time for some consistency from you. Subscribe to the Trews, stay in touch with us. We make this thing for you, don't we? I don't think any of us get paid. Do we get paid? No one's even getting paid for this. Oh, Christ.
Nose is a tool that is abused to fool you and to leave you scared and confused. Trews is like the nose. If the nose was true, I want some Trews. Let's have some Trews.